In 2016, we got into the RV business. Number one, we wanted to do two things. Number one, bring a fresh look to the marketplace. And secondly, was to bring a level of quality to the industry that it hadn't necessarily seen. So those were two of our bigger goals. So inTech, number one, we're a fabricator. We are not just an assembler. We make our own base frames in-house. Most companies don't do that. We make our own cabinets, we make our own cabinet doors, we make our own fold-out step. If we can build it in-house, and if we have a way to find the tooling to do it, then we're going to try to do it in-house because we know that we can build it to the quality that we need.
Hey folks, Dave Hicker from the Six here, coming to you from the Hershey RV Show, America's biggest RV show. I'm here with Jim McConnell from inTech, and he's going to tell us a little bit about just what sets inTech apart, and we're looking today at the inTech Sol Dusk, and maybe a little bit about the Dusk in particular. So go ahead, Jim.
So inTech has been around for 15 years. Just as a quick background to the company, we started off in building fiber splicing trailers, and then we moved into high-end motorsports trailers. And we're very much known on that side as a highly custom builder. And so we're building for race teams, high-end race cars, classic cars, that kind of thing. One thing that separates inTech from many companies is our business model and the way we set up the way the president of the company and the owner set up the company to do business. Number one, inTech, every inTech employee, about 300 plus, including myself, we are paid heavily based on profit sharing. So there is no piece rate at inTech, which is typical in the RV industry. So there's no speed, no series speed required. There's no high number, 20 trailers a day, that kind of thing that they have to concentrate on. Our goal is to build quality trailers and to build them right the first time. And the way we do it is very different in that respect as well. So, like I say, we fabricate our own base frame. It's all box frame construction. We're 100% aluminum type construction, aluminum tube construction. So if I were to peel the outer walls off, you're going to see a fully welded aluminum cage, which is something, again, that's not usually found in the RV business. The Dusk is one of our larger models. We came out with it about a year and a half ago, and it is the largest Sol that we produce. Sol Horizon, if many of you may be familiar with, was our top-selling Sol for many years, but it featured a crossways queen bed, and typically the biggest complaint was that the husband or the wife had to crawl over the next person to go to the bathroom. So we came out with the Dusk, which offered rear twin standard, also convert to a king. But if we start on the outside here a little bit, there's been several changes for the 2026 models. Number one is going to the frameless windows on the outside, a nice clean look. One thing that I always want customers to pay attention to, again, that inTech's kind of a unique thing that we really like to concentrate on, is unless I point it out, typically you're not going to notice it. And that is the caulking that we do on the outside of the trailer. I want to promote that. I want you to see it simply because we take the time to do it right, and it's all done freehand. There's no taping, there's no caulk lines or anything like that. They do it all freehand, and the reason is because the reason they do it so well is because we give the guys the time to do it right, and that is all part of that profit sharing plan. So giving the guys and the gals the time to build it right the first time. One thing that we've changed to as well, so I'm going to get into the basic construction of the trailer here. So it's all aluminum frame construction. Number one, every cutout in this wall, whether it's this window, whether it's this baggage door, entry door, electrical outlet, every side wall cutout is framed in aluminum. Very unusual. We even do our own aluminum extrusions in-house to fill this gap for a rounded window instead of buying a plastic extrusion. So very different there. But we do all, so you got a fiberglass with an Asdel composite behind it, fully welded aluminum frame. Then your interior walls are going to be Asdel as well with your interior wall panel. So your roof is all fiberglass. We don't use any TPO or at all here at inTech. So your fiberglass roof is going to run where it connects at the front cap, and it's going to go all the way to the rear bumper. That's going to be one piece fiberglass with an Asdel composite underneath it. So a very sturdy roof, and one that's going to be very reliable, and it looks good. It's very built very well. So I'll also say when inTech is a fabricator, another thing we do, so you've got the rear powder coated aluminum bumpers. We do that in-house. It's got a storage bumper up on the front rack on the tongue. We do all that in-house as well. So again, relying on ourselves and not on suppliers as much as we possibly can. Not to say there's not a lot of good suppliers out there, because there is. So one thing that inTech's been popular for is having the slide-out kitchen, which is an option. You know, if you don't happen to have your own griddle and your own cooler, you know, this is a great option to have. But if you want to use this as storage, keep in mind that if you don't order this as the option, the great thing is you're still going to have an LP quick connect there standard, and you're also going to have a 12-volt outlet standard on the inside of the compartment, so that's always going to be there. If maybe you've got your own cooler already, maybe you have your own griddle, maybe you got a Blackstone portable grill, they work really well here. So when I mentioned that everything that we attach, when everything is framed in aluminum, even this, when we're attaching this to the trailer, you know, that grab handle, I can give it all I got and try to pull that out of the wall. You know why it's not coming out of the wall? Because it's going into aluminum. It's not going into a wood substrate or anything like that, or foam. It's going into aluminum. So as we move up to the front here, you're going to see the automotive type windshield, which many of you are probably familiar with. It's a unique look going down the road. It is an automotive style glass, and it does come with a protective cover. So when you're traveling down the road, there's a cover that slides on and buttons all the way around to protect it as you go down the road. Nice place to hide the two 20-pound LP tanks that are standard. Again, I had mentioned the powder-coated storage rack on the tongue itself, and you'll see that it is prepped already on the inside and the outside of the tube if you want to do any weight distribution or that kind of thing. No, but you can see the aluminum frame, aluminum structure of that trailer all the way around. Move it to the inside very quickly. So one thing that folks may not be familiar with is the flooring that we use. It's we're one of the few companies that use it in the RV industry. It's called an Infinity Woven. We like it for several reasons. Number one, and we've been using it for probably, I think, 6 years. We like it because, number one, it's very durable. It's used very heavily in the marine industry on the decks of pontoon boats, so it's made to take a lot of moisture. If I were to take a sample of this flooring and I hold it up to the light, you can see through it. However, but when I put it down here and put it on a surface and I pour moisture on it, you'll see that moisture, that water just sits there and it will not penetrate the surface of that floor. So it's pretty cool. I've done water tests, I've done coffee tests, I've done wine tests. I've even poured wine on this floor and red wine, let it sit for an hour. And yet, all I had to use was a towel and dab it up and a little quick wet wipe, and the stain was gone. But again, you feel the backside of this and it's dry, so that moisture is not penetrating through this flooring.
Bone dry. So
it's a really nice little feature, and again, it's easily sweepable. You know, great for dog hair, sand, that kind of thing. Our customers seem to love it really well, so that's one reason why we've kept it. It is one piece front to back as well, so there's no seams in it. Again, I had mentioned we're a fabricator, so we do make our own base cabinets in-house. We make our own upper cabinets. We make the cabinet doors all in-house. So if we have any issues, we can get quick replacement. I had mentioned on the outside, you know, the fact that one of the big things is that whenever we're attaching to the sidewall, 100% of the time when we're attaching to the sidewall, we're going into aluminum. So if I were to take this window truss, this aluminum truss for this valance that we make in-house, again, as a cover for the window, you know, I can give it all I got, and that thing is not coming off the wall. So not a lot of people are going to do that to prove a point. I'm more than happy to do it, so because I know that it's going to stay there. So, now you've got a cover for the windshield for going down the road, but if it's nighttime, you pull into maybe a campground or something like that, you're just there for one night, you don't want to take the cover off, or you maybe already had the cover off, you didn't travel with it. You do have a heavy-duty MCD blackout shade that'll come down, that'll go behind the pillows, or the cushions for the dinette. But we also use heavy-duty blackout shades on the side windows here when they're, if I can get to it. There we go. See, we've got good blackout protection there at night. Worry about anybody seeing through those. This dinette also converts to a bed. It comes with a shorter leg, which will drop the table down. And then there's a cushion that's stored up here. And the leg is there as well, that will strap to this table to help make the bed. Now, one little thing, if you like a little security, you like a little hidden storage, you know, one thing that I like to show off, it can be a little bit of a project to get to, but we've got some excellent storage right there. that doesn't show, that's very visible. But again, if you want to hide something, if you want a little something in a little bit more of a private storage, that's a great place to put some things that you want to hide away. One of the other big changes we went to this year is we've gone to solid surface countertops. It's called a thin-scape material. It's actually an engineered material, but we also dropped the sink down below the countertop and went with solid surface countertop covers. But this material is very lightweight, and it's nice thing is it's also sealed, unlike a quartz or something that you might have to seal occasionally. This is something you do not have to seal at all, so it's always going to be sealed. Now, one of the big selling features of the desk, now let me start with the bath here. You know, inTech's obviously very big into the wet baths. One thing that I always want to point out, you know, I'm about 5'11". You can see I've got great headspace in here to stand up, and I've got great movement. You know, I love the way we light this so you don't feel closed in and tight, but I've got plenty of room to move around here, which is important when you're in the bath. So I also got a mirror in here as well. All aluminum walls here. One of the big selling points of the desk, again, over the horizon, when kind of made this the #1 seller, was having the twin bed configuration. You know, I love the fact that you've got the vinyl side here. If you want to sit back and watch TV and relax, you know, you don't have to worry about taking your shoes off because this is easy to keep clean. You don't have to worry about it getting dirty. But when it's nighttime, you know, what you're going to do is essentially just, we want to convert it into a twin bed. Or you can also obviously leave it set up this way, but you're going to convert it to this side. And then you've got a very nice memory foam type mattress here. I can attest to the fact that it's comfortable because I have spent some few nights on this when my wife kicked me out of the house. No, I'm just kidding. But it is a very comfortable mattress when I've used them at campouts. So now, the other option for folks who still want to sleep in the same bed is this will also convert to a king. So the way you do that is you've got panels under here, which will store here. Oh, get out of the way here. What you do is you just take the bolsters from the sidewall, put those in right there, and there you go. I've talked with several folks who own a desk. Many of them will leave this as a king bed setup all the time, and then use this under the bed, under this middle section for bin storage. So it's a great place for storage for things you may not be using that often. So. Now, one thing I do like as well, keep in mind that no matter what, let's say you're 6'4" and your bed is maybe just a hair too short for you. Every inTech headboard is removable, always. So it's going to be, you know, you just pull that away and you're going to gain about another 3 to 4 inches if you need that additional headroom for when you're laying down at night. One thing that I did not mention was that every inTech in the Sol and the Octa line all use a soft start air conditioner. So it's a 15,000 BTU low pro with a soft start built into it. What that means is you can use, number one, once you chill this unit down in about 15 minutes, you'll never need to run it on high because low will keep this thing overly cool. It does have a thermostat on the wall to control the temperature, but it's not going to run that often simply because it is a smaller trailer and the 15,000 is going to cool it off very quickly.
We're doing things a little bit differently in this video, so we'll take a look at just some of the outside features, and starting with, you can see we have an on-demand Suburban hot water heater right here, and we do have our 30 amp cord set, and it's the kind we like where the cord set is separate so bugs and mice can't get in. We've got a cable hookup, and then we have our fresh water fill and also our city water connection here. And I'll put the tank sizes up on the screen. Now we do have a torsion axle suspension on this trailer, nice big off-road alloy wheels. Coming to the other side, we've got our dump, and I believe we've only got the one pull because we have a shared black and gray tank on this trailer, and I'll put the size up on the screen. You can see they've also given us a holder as well, and We've got stabilizers here. They're not down, but they are there. And of course that aluminum frame, very heavy duty looking aluminum frame. You can see we do also get stabilizers at the back, and those ones are in fact down. All right, let's head inside the Dusk and take a little bit of closer look at the features that we have in this trailer. So one thing that I should point out just right from the get-go is that the quality of the finishing and just the materials and the look of everything in an inTech is really, really top drawer. And we actually did a video in our first show at the first time we went to the Florida RV show and gave them the best interior in show award. And I think I'm still sticking with that because just the finishing work in these trailers is really, really, really nice and very modern look, and yet not modern in the sense that it's trendy and that it's not going to look good in 5 or 10 years. So anyway, let's head to the front of the trailer, and of course we have that big panoramic windshield. I love that they've gone with frameless windows now. So instead of sliders, they had sliders last year, and the frameless is just going to give you that awning style advantage of, you know, not letting the rain in. When you know, a light rain, you can actually leave it open and it's going to keep the water from coming in the trailer, which is nice to have. Lots of premium features here. So here we are, this is the dinette, but yet we still have the reading lights, and we also have, and I'm just looking underneath, I don't see a USB plug on them though. We've got speakers for the stereo here as well, and on the other side we've got both the same. Got these nice bungee style cabinets here, so you could either put decor or you could use those as storage. And if you're using this as a couples unit, of course you could just leave this cushion at home, but if you're using it for a family of 4, then you can convert this into a bed to sleep a couple of kids, which is a nice feature as well. Very high quality cabinets. As you can see, they're soft close. And you can see that the hinges that they're using are really high-end as well. Carpeted finishing inside, so you're not seeing cables, you're not seeing wires. Really high-end finishes there as well. So sitting in the dinette, just you can see that we have our fuse panel right beside the dinette here. And we also have our battery cutoff switch. We have some plugs, a USB plug as well. Everything very easily accessible, so if you ever have a problem with a fuse, you have no issues. You just go ahead and change it without having to get down on your hands and knees. So I'm appreciating that a lot. And then we have our controls. So we have our Jensen stereo here. We have our Suburban hot water heater. And then you have your tank monitors and your battery monitors. And you have your tank heaters, and you have a line heater, and you have a water pump. So very well equipped. So you're going to be able to get into that deep 3-season camping with this trailer. Let's take a look inside of the fridge. And it is a 12 volt. Do have a small freezer and nice little vegetable drawer down at the bottom. 3 shelves in the door, so that's a nice feature. And then spinning around to the kitchen, and you've got your 3-burner stove with a glass top cover, so when you're not cooking you can use that as prep space. And you've also got the kitchen, the covers for the sink, and this is a full farmhouse style large sink, so loving that. These are solid surface countertops, and you know that is giving you more prep space, but I could actually do without these. I just don't know, like, what are you going to do with them, especially being 2-piece when you're not using them. So I'm not a big fan. I wouldn't mind if maybe we went with a 2-burner hob here and gave us just a little bit of counter space in the middle. But anyway, they went with the 3-burner, so nothing wrong with that. And very high quality drawers and cabinetry here, and plenty of storage here. And you can see they're soft close as well. And even a nice big drawer at the bottom. So plenty of space to store all of your gear. Under the sink, we've got a really large, wide open space. So you're going to be able to put some big items there. You could even put a tote in here or whatever you want. So plenty of flexibility with that space for sure. And we do have some storage up top as well. This, you're going to be able to put some cups and glasses and so on up here, but it's not deep enough to store your plates and so on. But because you have all those drawers down below, you're going to be able to use that for the storage of that stuff. All right, we close those up. Two more speakers right above the TV. So just love that. We've got a nice TV set up here. I'm assuming that that TV is standard. I'll put up on the screen whether it is or not. Some more of these bungee shelves, one on either side. We do have another cabinet here. And actually that is a little mini closet, so it does have a spot to hang your clothes here, so you can put some shirts in here or what have you. So that's a nice feature. And nice inset, premium looking LED lights in the ceiling. And we have some more cabinets at the back here. And not a huge amount of space there, but decent for sure. And we do get another power point here at the back. I don't believe that there's storage under there. No, so that's where our kitchen folds into, so that's why that we're not able to get at the storage there. And I don't believe, no. So we've got our mechanical underneath the bed, so there's no storage underneath the bed. But again, this is, you know, attention to detail and just designing it so it's made to be camped in. So we've got our USB plugs here. We've got our reading light. We've got a nice little shelf to put our phone on, and we have that on both sides. And really nice floor plan. For those of you who want to see how far the windows open, there's an example of one open right there. So it's letting, I can tell you it's letting plenty of breeze. It's a cool-ish day here today at Hershey. So, but we'll just back out and again, just really appreciate the quality of finishing and just the interior design work. And we should point out, in addition to the Coleman Mach air conditioner, which is a soft start, low profile air conditioner, we also have a max air fan on this trailer. So you're going to be able to use the cool air from outside if it's not hot, or you can use the air conditioner. And of course we do have a furnace in this unit as well. In the bathroom, you can see we got just a lot of LED light strips here. We have an exhaust fan. We have a nifty little spot to put some shampoo bottles and so on the wall here. And a covered toilet paper holder, because of course this is a wet bath. But of course this is a large wet bath, folks. Jim has shown it to us. And just a tremendous amount of space in there. The toilet is nicely centered. That is a porcelain toilet as well. So premium features, nice black shower faucet and shower head.
It's time for pros and cons, and as usual, we'll start with the pros. First up is the robust aluminum cage with fiberglass skin and adcell construction. These trailers are built to last. Next up is the interior finishing, both in terms of quality and decor. I think I'd really enjoy spending time in this trailer. My last pro is the large bed that can function either as twins or a king. At 80 by 80 inches, it's perfect for us tall folks. As usual though, there are a few things I'd love to see different. My first con is the tiny freezer. I wish it was just a bit larger so I could fit flat packed meat in it. My second con is the lack of counter space. I'd gladly take a smaller sink and or a smaller stove to gain a bit more prep space. As it is, cooking prep will probably happen on the table. My final con isn't so much a con as it is a miss. At this price point, I'd love to see a dry bath, and I feel like there is enough space in the bathroom to have one with some creative design. Speaking of price, the MSRP before options is $50,862 in US dollars, and loaded versions are typically priced in the high 40s on dealer websites, again in US dollars. As such, this is a premium trailer, but in its construction and finishes, I believe it justifies this price. What do you think? Is the inTech Sol Dusk a good value? Let me know in the comments. Check out my review of the Sol Dusk's little brother, the Sol Dawn, which is linked on the screen. Thanks for watching, and take care.